Welcome to this week's episode of the CVU Show. Did you know that 1 in 5,000 North Atlantic lobsters are born bright blue? Now that's crazy.
The CVU Photo Club will be holding its second contest for this school year. Same as last time, you have 3 themes to choose from. Your entry can be something vintage, or it could involve rot, decay, and overgrowth. Or, if you'd rather do something simple, why not snap a photo of a portrait? All entries are due by Tuesday, December 6th. Your submissions should be in high resolution and renamed with the title of your image. There's a limit of 3 entries per person. Entries can be emailed to Emily McLean or uploaded to the CVU Photo Club contest shared folder. Be creative.
The CVU Community Cares program is planning a fundraiser next Friday during C-Free. This fundraiser will be to raise money for the program so it can pay the necessary funds for different marginalized communities at CVU. Entry fee is $10 per advisory, and will give you a chance to win first and second place mystery prizes. Advisories can purchase game boards at room 120 by leaving money in a jar next to the game boards, or in the first 5 minutes of C-Free on the day of the competition. May the best advisory win.
Toys for Kids barrels are located in the main office and direction center. Please consider donating a toy by December 20th. Many families rely on this program for holiday gift shopping, and given the state of the economy, these families will be relying on the program more than ever. So please consider donating to these barrels before the 20th. Your help is greatly appreciated, CVU. And this week, I had an opportunity to talk with Peter Booth about the Toys for Tots program.
Toys for Kids is a project put on by the Vermont Marines, and I did a little research a couple days ago, and this goes back to the 1950s, actually, that the Vermont Marines started collecting toys for families in the area who for whom the holiday season is a struggle, right? Like there's a big expectation for parents that they are able to provide for their kids, and you watch TV and there's trees with toys overflowing underneath them, and that can be a real struggle for a lot of parents. And so the Vermont Marines got together and organized this. I think it's either Chittenden County or maybe statewide project to just collect toys to make available to parents who can't afford to get their kids what they would like to get them for Christmas. So CVU's been involved for, I can say, at least 21 years, which is as long as I've been here, because it was happening before I got here. And every year, towards the beginning of December, end of November, the Vermont Marines bring by 2 barrels, and there's one here with me, and there's another one down at the Direction Center. And in that, over the course of those 3 or 4 weeks, I put out notifications to teachers and advisors and advisories that the barrels are out there, and ask folks to think about bringing by 1 or 2 toys to drop in the basket. I know that some advisories will make an advisory field trip and go shopping for toys and then bring them all in and drop them off here in the barrel. I sort of am the spokesperson for this now because I'm this year 10th grade class council advisor. And when I took over that role, the previous class council person said, "Oh, and our class council organizes Toys for Kids." So I've been doing it for the past 4 years in my role as class council for this year's 10th grade class.
Sounds like an amazing program for a very good cause.
It really is. Now let's hand it over to Matthew for sports.
I'm your host, Matthew, and welcome to this week's edition of CVU Sports. Over the long weekend, Killington was packed with fans from around the world on Saturday and Sunday. As the Women's Slalom World Cup was fun and interesting to watch, there was a tie for first place with Wendy Holner of Switzerland and Anna Sween Larsen of Sweden. This was Holner's first ever win after 15 second-place finishes. USA's Michaela Schifrin finishes 5th, but already has 50 wins within the slalom races. Let's hand it over to special guest correspondent Frankie to once again talk about this year's World Cup.
Hi, I'm Frankie, and welcome back to your special World Cup report. I'm here to update you now that the group stage has finished and the round of 16 is about to begin. First of all, congratulations United States on making it past the group stage. Holding on to a 1-0 lead against Iran this Tuesday, the United States has qualified with England for the round of 16 and is set to play the Netherlands this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune in to watch that. As of the recording of this, France Australia, Senegal, the Netherlands, the United States, and England have all qualified for the round of 16, but by the time you're watching this, the last of the group games will have happened, and we'll know everyone who's going to participate. In the next part of the tournament, the playoffs. This part of the tournament is different. Instead of the teams all playing against each other and scoring points, it's just win or go home. Qatar has lost all 3 of their group games, which means they have not qualified for the round of 16 and are the first ever host country to lose every single game in World Cup history. France is also set to make World Cup history, seen by some as possibly winning the tournament, which would make them the first ever country to win it 3 times in a row. And if they do win, it would be their 4th win, putting them just behind Brazil at 5 for the most number of wins of the World Cup ever. In other news, England absolutely crushed Wales and Iran and drew with the United States 0-0, therefore the game is now called soccer ball. That's it from me. Have a great day. 3 Lions, football's coming home, England's gonna win, and back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Frankie, for another great World Cup presentation. And let's go, Team USA, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Matthew.
We finally have a deadline for the American Legion speech contest. On December 14th, high school students who wish to participate will have to submit their final oration piece for the contest on some phase of the American Constitution, with emphasis on the duties and obligations of those American citizens, with cash prizes of $1,500, $750, and $500 up for grabs. More information can be found on www.legion.org/oratorical, with contest rules found in the daily announcements document.
Do you prefer skiing or snowboarding? That's the question we asked CVU this week. Here's how it all went down.
I prefer skiing because it's what I did in the first place, is what I started with. I tried snowboarding at some point, but it didn't really work, so I just stuck with skiing.
I snowboard because I like it more. I've skied before and I can't stay up right.
I ski because my family skis, and yeah.
I don't ski because I'm scared of it, and yeah, I'm scared of it.
I don't really love either, but snowboarding because my dad is obsessed with it, so I have to, support his intense obsession.
I prefer skiing because it's better and it doesn't push snow to the side of the thing, like the slope thing.
I prefer skiing because I don't know how to snowboard. I learned to ski when I was like 7 and then I kept going.
I don't do any of them, but I think snowboarding, because there's this one time in 7th grade where I tried skiing and I was so bad. I kept tripping and I was very scared to go down hills. Every time I'd be I just always bam, just slam my body on the floor. So I prefer snowboarding, definitely.
It's nice to see people taking advantage of these winter months.
I myself prefer to play video games. Speaking of which, do you know what esports has been doing?
Not a clue, but I know someone who does. Let's turn it over to Alessandro for his esports segment.
Thank you, Henry. CVU is known to have a wide variety of sports, but did anyone think that video games would be the latest in its arsenal? Esports has been a growing club here at CVU, and next year will be approved to be considered a varsity level sport. I had a chance to talk with Nicholas Clark, one of the coaches for our CVU esports team, about how much esports has grown here at CVU.
Size-wise, we've gone from starting lineup last year of around 30-something to 54 students this year. We expanded from 1 C3 to 3 C3s to accommodate the expanded interest in the program. And we honestly look to probably expand even further with the next season in the spring.
CVU isn't the only school in Vermont to have an esports team. Schools such as Burr Burton Academy and the Moyle Valley Union High School have teams that also compete, and CVU has reportedly already played and beaten. Schools such as MMU and SB are now having talks of putting together an esports team to rival CVU. Students in the club have said esports has been good for making new connections with people that share common interests, and some have shown to be more open.
But for us, it's not necessarily like the actual gameplay that we really care about. It's more, the student involvement and the student growth that we've seen. We have students who were withdrawn within themselves prior to starting the program and who have shown immeasurable growth in just the short time that we've been running it.
With popularity at an all-time high, we can expect some great things from CVU's esports team now and in the future. Reporting from CVU, Alessandro Cummings-Furlow, the CVU Show.
That was some very interesting info there, Alessandro.
I agree. I'd actually like to know even more now. My name is Nick.
And my name is Henry.
And we've been your hosts for this week's show. We'll see you next week.